Hi, my name's Irene Tompkinson, and it's been about 18 months since I've put any kind of messages out here on my email list. So the reason I'm doing it is I've missed you all. That's number one. And number two is I didn't die, and I wanted you to know that. I wanted you to know that I'm not completely retired, but my whole entire life has changed over those 18 months. So here's the story. What happened was in September of 2019, I had a retreat at the house, the big house. In October, I did a workshop there. In November, we had probably one of the best Thanksgivings ever. It was just all of our friends and family that were able to come for it. And then in December, we had the same kind of experience for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Everybody we love could show up. And then on January the 1st, every flippin' thing in our life changed. As for most of us, right? That was the beginning of the whole COVID experience. And during the COVID experience, we didn't realize that would be the last time we would do any of those things in the big house. There would be no more retreats, no more workshops in that building. It was all over. David was diagnosed with a memory disorder, and he realized he could no longer keep his part of the bargain of taking care of the property. It was just got to be way too much. So we decided we were going to stick our toes in the water and see what would happen if we tried to sell, with the idea that maybe we'd get another year. We'd just kind of poke around. Well, the house sold in 2 weeks. So that was a bit of a shocker. And we were being forced up the river in a way that we had no expectations of. That meant we had to get out of the place it was less than 3 months. We had to get out of there, and we had to undo 35 years of living. A complete change. We moved to Rochester. We now live in a nice little townhouse condominium. Sean, our daughter, who does real estate, was able to find that for us. We're very grateful for that because we couldn't afford living on the seacoast anymore. It's just too crazy expensive. And we have come to really love our new little community. We're blessed with a small river in front of the condo. It's the Cocheco River, and that's really been special because one of the big things that I missed the most from the old house was the pond out in the back and the animals that would come to the pond, and our deck. We loved our deck. I also loved doing the workshops live in the building and the retreats, but it was time for those to move on. Maybe someday I'll do another in live workshop. Probably not going to do retreats in the way I used to do them. It's time. Anyway, after we moved in June, we both got COVID. It was not a bad experience for us. It was a really short experience. It was only 4 days each. But after the COVID, I was left with a body inflamed with psoriatic arthritis. And that lasted for about 8 months. Psoriatic arthritis is episodic, but it definitely took me down. So I went from walking the Camino in my early 70s, doing 15 miles a day on the Camino walk for 10 days, covered 150 miles, to having to have help getting out of bed and getting dressed during 22 with the long haul COVID. It was just a shock to my whole being. Every way I identified myself had changed. My strength, where I lived, my husband, everything had changed, and it is changed. So I've spent a lot of time doing a lot of writing and looking at and owning and accepting and getting used to the fact that I am an elder, and that life is moving on in a direction that I didn't pick, but this is the way it goes. So what I want to do and what I want to offer is a group on the 12, I call it 12 steps of successful aging. It's been really, really helpful for me. The research has really helped me a lot, the writing, the experience, my own personal journey, and I'm sure plenty of you have had your journeys with this whole aging game. Anyway, I would love to hear from you. So if you would email me, let me know what's going on in your life. And if you have any interest in being a part of this group, that would be great. The email I'd like you to use is iTomkinson, TOMKINSON 56 @gmail. So if you have any interest or just want to say hi, email me and let me know what's happening for you. So until the next time, which should be about October, is when I'm probably going to run the group or begin the group or whatever that format's going to look like. So until then, bye.